What's going on, guys? My name is Tommy. Welcome back to the channel, and hey, like always, happy Friday. We're here today for another episode of the Inner Sea region, a 5-minute tour. Last week we covered Brevoy, and if you'd like to watch that video, you can follow this card right here. Like we said last week, we're going to continue sweeping across northern Avestan until we get it done. Therefore, today, it's all about Numeria. Don't forget, guys, the Pathfinder Doomsday Dawn playtest adventure giveaway is live. As I record this channel sits at 591 subscribers. It wasn't that long ago that I said, hey, if you get us to 424, we'll talk about a giveaway. We've blown that out of the water. Now it's just a matter of getting our patronage up to about $150 a month, and I'll run you and 5 of your fellow subscribers through the first ever published Pathfinder 2nd edition content. For more information about the giveaway, you can follow this card right here. And if you'd like to help us out through patronage and thus get a second entry into the giveaway, the link to our Patreon is in the description. Even $1 helps you guys. If everybody who watched this video threw in $1 in patronage, we'd get there. Speaking of patronage, today, this episode of the Inner Sea region, a 5-minute tour, was brought to you in part by Josh King, who actually played a pair of ratfolk monks that were from Numeria in the not-so-distant past, in a campaign that he used to be a part of. So, as always, Josh, thank you for your time, thank you for your support. Now let's dive in. Numeria is a barren, harsh land inhabited by tribes of savage barbarians and ruled over by the Black Sovereign, a despot controlled by a manipulative group of mages who toy with forces they do not understand. Before the Age of Lost Omens, Numeria was a rising power in northeastern Avestan. It was considered the largest, most powerful, and most aggressive of the river kingdoms, which it at the time was considered a part of, and many thought that it was only a matter of time before Numeria would unite several neighboring river kingdoms and create eastern Avestan's first true empire. The death of Eridan and the opening of the World Wound, if you'd like to hear more about the World Wound, by the way, follow this card right here in 4606 AR, threw everything on its head. With an increase in the frequency of demonic attacks from the northwest, Numeria gave up its territorial ambitions and focused instead on protecting its borders. At the same time, thousands of refugees fled across the border from Sarkoris, fleeing the demonic hordes, but found little welcome amongst the Numerians. Numeria is inhabited by an ethnicity of people known as the Achilles. In negative 5051 AR, they were pushed out of the caves they used to live in by the orcs of the Darklands, who were being pushed out of the lands they used to live in by the dwarves of, at that time, the Darklands, during their quest for the sky. The Khelids play a big role in Golarion's history, and we'll talk about them more next week when we discuss the realm of the Mammoth Lords. For now, the most important part about the Khelids is that they bore witness to the Reign of Stars. In negative 4363 AR, a giant metal vessel from outer space on a collision course with Golarion broke apart in the atmosphere, creating a meteor-like shower that spread across the land. Chunks of this vessel fell across Numeria, some the size of fists, others as large as cities. The largest piece impacted in the Central Plains and is now known as Silver Mount, while the next best known site is called Scrap Wall, which is located near the Selen River in eastern Numeria. This ship was composed to a large degree of sky metals, which were previously unknown on Golarion. The technology found in the Silver Mount and the other crash sites is beyond that of anything on Golarion, or even anything at this point in history in Golarion's solar system. That, of course, can only mean that this ship came from an alien culture in deep space or another time or dimension. Many of the events following the Reign of Stars have had lasting negative effects on Numeria. Thousands of years after its impact, the ship's radioactivity continues to mutate, stunt, or kill the region's flora and fauna. The local Khelid population explored many of the crash sites soon after the Reign of Stars, a practice that changed soon after an unknown tribal chieftain in the Feldales triggered a catastrophic explosion in negative 3116 AR. The blast destroyed his tribe, sent a mushroom cloud and shaft of light into the sky, and poisoned the region for miles. Now fearful of the technological items, most Khelids subsequently buried or destroyed any new discoveries. Of course, even on Golarion, humans are curious about what they don't understand, and in 4501 AR, a woman appeared, preaching opposition to Khelid taboos against technology and recruiting spellcasters to aid her in the recovery of these objects, soon founding the Technic League. While she was assassinated in 4509 AR by her lieutenant, Mulrak Zir, the League persists in its mission to exploit the alien technology and eventually gained entry to Silver Mount in 4512 AR. It then quickly ascended to a position of power in Numeria that continues largely unchallenged to this day. Recent decades have seen the rise of a new ruler in Numeria, the man known as the Black Sovereign. Once the Black Sovereign was a true leader of the people of Numeria called Kavath Kul. He was a warlord of great renown whose massive greatsword cleaved through those with whom he couldn't reason with. Kavath Kul managed to form strong alliances between many of the tribes, and many of his followers believed that he would push the borders further than they had ever been and forge a stronger nation for Numeria. Kavath's downfall came when he claimed the city of Starfall as his capital and began to listen to the honeyed words of the Technic League. Kavath Kul even began to consume the addictive fluids leaking from the Silver Mount, which is probably bad. Don't drink the radioactive gas leaking from your spaceships, kids. These substances changed Kavath Kul. He became a darker, more brooding man, now again known today as the Black Sovereign. His reign is almost completely unopposed by the people of Numeria, but his control is far from complete. Numeria is far too vast a country to rule effectively with an iron fist. Thus, the people of Numeria just kind of try to avoid the Black Sovereign and live their life much as they always have. Those who actively oppose the Black Sovereign find he is a tenacious opponent supported by vast legions of troops, along with the mages of the Technic League and their fearsome gearsmen. These gearsmen appeared a generation ago, brought forth from a previously unknown chamber in the Silver Mount, and are controlled by members of the Technic League. Also, in case you hadn't guessed it, Numeria is home of the android race. In recent history, they've begun to emerge from the ruins of Numeria, and if you'd like to hear more about the androids, you can follow this card right here. So obviously, on planet Earth, we don't have barbarian tribes running around with robot armies and laser guns and stuff like that. But the sci-fi meets fantasy mixture that we see a lot in games and movies and stuff is pretty common, and on Galarion we find it here in Numeria. It kind of gives me personally a throwback to some older cartoons and movies and stuff. Think things like Thundar the Barbarian or He-Man. It's more or less the same idea. We would be remiss if we didn't mention the 1980 adventure module for Dungeons & Dragons written by Gary Gygax, Expedition to the Barrier Peaks. The adventure module takes place on a downed spaceship. The ship's crew has died, but functioning robots and strange creatures still inhabit the ship. Also, Numeria is the setting for the adventure path Iron Gods, where we see all the sci-fi races from Starfinder, where we see, again, laser guns and robots and stuff. You're not gonna find giant scorpion robots anywhere else on the Inner Sea, and if you do, they probably came from Numeria. But I digress. What do you guys think about this place? Have you ever adventured here? Have you ever played or GM'd Iron Gods? Also, how do you feel about sci-fi in your fantasy? Does it feel weird? Does it feel fun? Somewhere in between? Let me know about it in the comments below. As always, we'll keep the conversation going. Be sure to like and subscribe for more videos. The next episode of the Inner Sea region, a 5-minute tour, drops next Friday.